Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen once again. My name is Ude. Here we make simple, delicious, healthy meals. I also guide people on how to make tasty food. So on today's video, we're going to be making something special, something that I really like so much, and it is called Ofe Akwu, palm fruit sauce soup. Is mainly used for eating your rice, so you can still call it palm fruit sauce stew. So this is where I got the palm fruit sauce from. It's still fresh, so this is it. This is how it looks. So it's still fresh, and that is where you got this beautiful looking palm fruit sauce. So what I do before adding any ingredient to it is that I used to sieve it with this sieve here. I used to sieve it, put it on top of any bowl or container, and start pouring it. The reason is that it's possible that it has some sands in it, because sometimes you'll be eating and it's like you're chewing a little sand. So to avoid that, what I do is that I sieve it like 3 or 4 times before cooking it, and then I get rid of those if there is anyone anyway, I get rid of those sands. So the thing is that in the process of making this palm fruit you are seeing, after cooking the palm fruit, what they do is that they spread it on the bare floor, and that is how the dirt gets in. They spread it on the bare floor and allow it to cool down, because you don't process hot palm fruit, so they allow it to cool down. Then that's when the actual processing starts. So I've already prepared the palm fruit. You can see the beautiful oil it's already producing. This is how you get your palm oil. This is how you get your palm oil. The more you cook it, the more it produces oil. So I have it on the stove. It's hot. So, and these are the ingredients for our stew today, or soup today. I have my spinach here. I'm going to add spinach to my own. So, but I have these special herbs that I love so much, and it's called Nchuanwu, and I am very fortunate to have the fresh one. We bought it from a African store. So this is how it looks. I have it here. It's fresh. The last time I cooked ukwa, I used the Nchuanwu, but I used the dry one. So I have my fish here. So this is what I'm able to get. But if I have the options I want, I would rather use a dried fish. So but this one is still okay. You can use dried fish, you can use mackerel, whatever fish you like, you can use it. I have the drown that I already cut. Then I have my onions. Onions is one of the things I'm generous with when I'm cooking Ofe Akwu. And here I have my seasoning. I have my knor cubes, I have my salt, I have the pepper in the blender. With crayfish is another thing. If you are cooking Ofe Akwu, you make sure you have enough crayfish. I have crayfish here, and I have the onions here. So I love Ofe Akwu for so many reasons. One is that it is very, very tasty. Everything about it is natural. You don't really need a lot of ingredients whatever to make it tasty. It's very tasty. It's very healthy. There is nothing like frying your onions or frying your tomatoes. What you do is just cook everything. So that is it for today. So right now I have the meat I'm going to be using. I have beef, and they have a beef strip. So my stove is on a low heat. I'm going to put it on a high heat, so we will start cooking. I'm going to season the meat right now. Add the cubes and the salt and allow it to cook for 2 minutes. Then we're going to start the proper cooking of our Ofe Akwu. This is the way I make my own, and it always comes out very, very tasty. So I'm going to add the Maggi knor cubes to season this. Then I'm going to add salt. Everything about palm tree is very, very useful. That even the Bible used a palm tree to he likened it to a man, a prosperous man. He used the palm tree as a parable to tell you about a prosperous man, because everything about palm tree is very useful. It is very useful. You don't throw anything away that you get from palm tree. It's very useful. So that is how important and how important it is. So that is why people like eating palm fruit sauce, Ofe Akwu, because it's very, very good and it's very, very tasty. So I'm going to cover this pot and allow it to cook for maybe 2 minutes or a minute. Then I'm going to add the apple, Ofe Akwu, the sauce. I'm going to add it. So that's the water I will be using to cook this meat. I'm not going to add more water to it, so I already have that sauce. So I'm going to add it. So it's already boiling, so I'm going to add it and go ahead and blend the crayfish and the pepper. So the meat is, as you can see, is boiling. By the time the apple is cooked through, the meat will be done. So that is why I will not allow the meat to cook through. So everything is going to be cooking together. The palm sauce is going to be the water for it. So right now I'm going to add the apple. Goodness, can't just go to the garage. You just need that towel. Tell me that. Don't give me that towel. That's small towel in the garage. Do you know where it is? The one that I used to use for cleaning. It's there. Go open it. It's there on that table. Get it. Okay. Give it to me. Yes. Thank you. So right now I'm going to add this thing. Look at the beautiful. That is how you make palm oil. That is how you get your red palm oil from this sauce. So, but we are not doing palm oil today. So I'm adding it to the meat. That it has a lot of oil. So that's enough in case there's any. So right now getting some things from the store is hard because of the pandemic. You don't really get what you want when you go to the store because of the flight and movement and everything. So whatever you have, this is America, so whatever you have, you use it. You can make it very tasty, whatever you have. So the palm sauce is there, the apple is there. I'm going to go ahead and blend the crayfish Right now I'm going to be blending the crayfish together with my onions. I used to blend my onions to get the sweetness of onions out. That's for akwu. Sometimes I don't blend it depending on the food I'm cooking, but this time I'm going to blend it. I remember when I was in Nigeria, I used to go to the market and buy this apple, anything I want for myself. When I was growing up, I used to cook a lot. So I used to go to the market and buy apple, and there you have so many options. You have species of apple. So I will go to those local sellers, local women, and then I can choose the one I want, fresh palm fruit, the one I want. But here we thank God we have this particular one. So if you don't have the fresh one, you manage this one, but you still get tasty, delicious apple. That is why so there's another thing you can add to your apple. Some people, they use isiokporoko, cod head or cod fish. They add it to, and ogili, locust bean, they add it to. And so if you have it, you can also add it. Everything about this apple stuff is local, and that is why I love it. It's healthy, it is delicious, very, very delicious. I can eat it like 3 times a day. Apple, if it is apple, can't stop eating it. So this thing is on. I've added the I've added the onions and the crayfish and the pepper. So what I'm going to do right now is to season it once again. Then I will cover it and allow it to cook for like 30 minutes. You know that your apple is done when you start seeing the oil coming up. Then you know it's done, and it will start thickening. Then you can add water depending on the consistency. That I don't want it to be too thick but not too runny either. So you can add water depending on what you want. So but this is the way I make mine, and it always comes out very, very tasty. So I'm going to add another cubes. And salt. You add your cubes and salt and you taste it. So it will not be too much. So I'm adding the salt. I'm going to be tasting it. So one thing about this Ofe Akwu is that this particular Nchuanwu leaf, right now I'm going to stir it, and then I will cover it and let it cook. So one thing about it is that this Nchuanwu, I don't know about other people, but to me, Ofe Akwu without Nchuanwu, to me, is not really complete. It's like when you use your basil, curry, we call it curry. So you use it for, Americans call it basil. You use it for tomato rice. It goes with tomato rice. So that this Nchuanwu goes with Ofe Akwu. So that's why I'm going to. That's the main. It will give it the aroma that you will want from Ofe Akwu. So I've already stirred it, and I'm going to cover the pot and allow it to cook. And when it's properly cooked, then we're going to add our vegetables. Add the fish. We're going to add the fish because that fish, it doesn't take time to cook, so I'm not going to add it right now. So that is why I left it. So when it's boiled and it's cooked, then I will add the fish, allow the fish to cook, then I will add the final ingredient, which is the vegetables. So please don't get away, stay tuned, we will be right back.